let's go back to late 80s, early 90s, and sort of draw a picture of what Covenant House looked like at the time. If you think about what was on Sunset, can you describe what that looked like?
No. All I know is that Sunset at that time, especially where we were, a lot of prostitution, a lot of drug sales. Well, we were in the Lucky Seven.
Correct. Two-story shelter next to a chateau.
An S&M parlor.
S&M parlor. I'm just glad I had the opportunity to start when we were just pretty much nothing.
Yeah. Anthony, remind me how you found out, once you hit the streets, how you found out about Covenant House.
I had been homeless for a while. I had been in the streets about 4 years. Things that happened to me, just terrible things. And so one day I was crying so much and I wanted to kill myself. I was really hungry. I had no shoes, I had no shirt, just pants on, and I was just like bruised and beaten, and so I just picked up the phone. It was a payphone at Tommy's Hamburgers here. And I cried to the operator, I said, please help me, I need help. Please, somebody, I need help. And she said, I'm gonna connect you to a place. It's a 9-line number. She's like, but I'm gonna connect you. And they connected me, and Brian Bub picked me up within 20 minutes. So he had dreads, and he had, I was young, so I see this big, and I wasn't scared of him, but I was just scared, and I said, well, what else can I go through?
Exactly.
So I just got in, and as soon as I got in here, I worked my program. I got a job in the kitchen. I just kept on it. I didn't have time for the drama. I didn't have time to hang out. Once I started making money, I said, I'm not gonna be homeless. I am not gonna let this happen to me. And everything just took off for me, and I thank God to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I came to Covenant House, like I said, I was 24, and just didn't realize what I was getting into. I thought, I worked with young people at a YMCA, so in my mind, I thought, like, I can do this job. And it really was an eye-opening experience, like, to all of a sudden meet these beautiful souls that were in so much pain. That I would go home some nights just really questioning, am I made for this? Am I built for this? What are you doing talking to a 12-year-old little boy who smokes crack cocaine and is a male prostitute? Like, what is that? So as staff, as volunteers, do you feel that you knew what you were getting into when you started your connection with Covenant House? How about you, Cameo? So your story is interesting.
When I came here, I was the same age as, just a couple years older than the kids that we were working with, right? But I think I kind of learned to, I don't know, it might sound trite, but I just loved every kid that I came in contact with.
Well, for me, I think I had some idea from afar, but when I came, I was afraid, right? But now that I hear you guys talking about that, you were afraid too. So we're all afraid. It gives me comfort to hear you say you guys were afraid.
Oh yeah. We were trying to find people to trust because in our lives, the people that we were supposed to be able to trust failed us. That's why the children in this Hollywood community that are homeless and abused and runaways, that's why they become this cohesive unit, this family that...
I think it was the bond. It was the bond with other people.
Was going to look out.
Because they seemed like they cared.
They understood the situation because you couldn't share it with everybody. I can really identify with that because a lot of us didn't have family. And I have a lot of family members, right? But they don't really know my story. Like, Covenant House is home to me because they hold my secret.
Yeah.
They hold all my secrets. The things that I can't really share that without somebody gasping and grasping the pearls.
So then when you come here and these people don't care that you don't fit in anywhere, they have a compliment for you, or a smile, or a hug. How was your day? Miss Dawn come and hug you and rub your back and say, how was your day?
From the morning when we got up all the way down till we laid it down at night. We had really good staff. And
That's it.
this was family. This was Uncle Bob and Mama Long.
Yes.
I was like, I never want to be in trouble with her. Never.
You know, Miss Lonnie thought she was mean. It wasn't that. But her love was unparalleled.
It was.
A lot of us didn't, our mothers weren't soft enough to love us.
Exactly.
So even in her being hard, she loved us better than we had been loved, so we trusted her. She knew all of our crap, and she loved us anyway. This place was the first place that I came back to.
I love coming home for Thanksgiving too, because Covenant House has their annual Thanksgiving every year.
Yeah.
And so it's an opportunity to come, I say come home.
I just noticed that.
This is my home.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have my family, so for me this was like
This is it.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go home now for Thanksgiving.
And they didn't forget you.
Anthony, you said home. That's what Covenant House feels like to me, like home.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of family members, and we all just learn how to get along and help each other, lift each other up each and every day. I too was afraid. I was like, I've never worked with this age group, and at that time, just experience being on the streets of Sunset was terrifying for me. I was like, it opened up my eyes to these kids.
She loved us, even in our, like when we were at our worst.
Yeah.
And she loved us right there.
Yeah, so I felt like I was a punching bag, but I was a punching bag for a reason. That's the thing that keeps me going every day, is because it's just not a job to me. It feels like home. And like I'm going to see about my children.
A couple years ago, I was on at a stoplight on Melrose and Highland, and all of a sudden I started crying. It was like a movie coming across. I kept seeing kid after kid after kid, all these kids that I had worked with over the years. I'd seen come in and out of Covenant House. People were beeping behind me. I'm not even sure what's going on. Yeah. But the stories stay with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do with the stories? Because we mean us on this part, have thousands of stories in our memory bank of all of you. And so what do you do with the stories? Where do you place?
I use it to propel myself. I don't internalize it, but I also use it to propel me in life, because that foundation was set where people helped me and loved me when I didn't love myself. And I'm so grateful. There are people that are friends, close friends, associates, people who did not get a chance to make it. And I always said, why me, Lord? And I realized to be able to be there for other people.
Preaching now.
I can care less if you have blue hair and one breast, honey. You still are a person to me, because I know what it feels like. Our stories may not be the same, but we in the same book. I was able to help a young man with mental health services, took him to Hollywood Mental Health, the same place I went to. And then when I was able to sit and process it, I'm like, wow, that was me. I was able to do the same thing, but when those moments comes, it's a feeling that you get coming back here again. Was my purpose is to make sure that some of the residents here know that this is a small part in your life. I've worked with several organizations throughout LA, but this is the one that I wanted to come back and share my story with, to be able to help somebody else. It's a gospel song that I hear to, is my living in vain? If I can help somebody along the way, then my living is not in vain.
From the things that we've gone through to the experiences that the staff have, when you bring it all together, we all have a mission and a purpose, and we walk this walk for a reason.
Right.
Really, I feel like I got the skills that I needed for life here. My children have always had it good, but they don't understand that you had it good because mama went through this process called Covenant House that taught me how to get a job, that taught me how to save my money. I teach my own children the things that I was taught here.
I remember you telling me when I was young, you know, when you get older, you're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. And it always stood in my head.
I know I said that to you too, because it was
always
true.
stood in my head. And I said, this man sees something about me. Now that I'm an adult, I say, you're dang right, I'm forced to be reckoned with. Because I will fight for justice, equality, for someone who's not treating someone right, for that child or that little boy. But I always say, no one's ever too gone to save.
Yeah.
No one's ever too gone to save.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I came in, I didn't see myself.
You had work. You didn't know that.
I didn't even see myself turning 18.
When we first started planning the design of this place, I can't tell you how many times I was criticized by people who would say, you know, this is just a shelter for a bunch of homeless kids. I used to hear this all the time. And why does it have to look so nice? And, you know, and so we would explain that one of our values was from the moment a young person walked in the door, they knew somebody cared about them. And, you know, Anthony, you mentioned family.
Yes.
I'm sitting next to two people who are also part of this family too.
Oh my God.
And thousands of others. The donors at Covenant House made all this happen. And they haven't all heard these stories.
What do you feel made you decide to
You know what?
add us to your family?
There, but for the grace of God, to lie on the street. I thank God I had a relative or somewhere who would pull me in.
Wow.
My favorite song is not just Amazing Grace, it's my life.
Wow.
And I've
Wow.
Will you all indulge me for a minute? Because this is sort of a wonderful circle. And I'm just wondering if we can sort of hold hands and bow our heads. All of us have so much to be thankful for. And for your lives, for our lives. And I also want to think about so many of the young people who are still out there, who continue to need a place like Covenant House.
If I could, I would sing Amazing Grace, but I don't think I could get through it.
If you want to, the rest of us will pick up on it. So if you lead us, we'll sing it.
Yeah.
Sing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amen.
I think that's a wrap.
I think it's real.
Can I say that right?